Yeah, man. One thing about my channel, so I'll just kind of go into a whole thing, right? If you got a minute. So one thing about my channel is it's been very unprofessional, and that's not a good thing, but it is the truth, but it's the reality of my situation. So let me try to figure out how to look at the camera. Okay, so it's the reality of the situation, where over the years, thousands and thousands of videos I've put out there. And it's been of my real life, of me going through the struggle of being gang stalked, not only with like the street theater and the basic stuff that people know about or hear about, but the depths of it, which a lot of you guys are going through the depths of it, which is artificial telepathy and dealing with hologram broadcasts and mind control. And artificial telepathy is kind of like mind control, and all of it in general, but a lot of times I've done videos in the mirror, right? And it's very unprofessional. And I'm not sitting there with like, a professional studio set up with guests and all that stuff. And I've had guests on, but it's been, at least like 20 people, probably different targeted people. And it's been a thing where, I did an interview with them and then try to make it look as professional as I can. But it's never been a very professional channel because it's a very raw situation of this is my life and this is what's going on. So anyway, I live my life normal. Okay, I really do. I live my life as a normal person, and I understand how it is for a lot of you guys that have been going through this for months or years, a couple years or something like that. And I understand how it is. And that's one thing I try to not forget, like is anything that you've been doing for a long time, you become very good at it, right? So if you're very good at something, then it's easy to forget how hard it was to begin with, right? So, the first year, the first 3 years, I didn't even know what was happening. Okay, I was being gang stalked and I barely knew it. I just knew I was hacked. Okay, and then it was a point in 2015 where these gang stalkers that I deal with, they started to use artificial telepathy, which is broadcast telepathy. It's where you hear it out loud. It's on your neurological broadcast frequency neural monitoring channel, which that's what gang stalkers have. They have their own, they have access. Okay, everybody's on neural monitoring. The satellites are reading every person's neurological broadcast frequency, but the people who know about this, they can get access to it. The people who are gang stalkers or otherwise. You don't have to be a gang stalker to have neural monitoring. You just have to have access to neural monitoring. And depending on how you use it, maybe you are a gang stalker. Most of them probably are, at least to some small degree. The hardcore gang stalkers that come on and torture you every day and use artificial telepathy on you, and that's a different breed that you're dealing with. And that's somebody that's a group of people that have decided that neural monitoring and EMF broadcasts, hologram broadcasts without a video, like, trust me, I know that it's hard to understand for a lot of people. But it's just like I said, once you've been dealing with this whole thing for 5 or 10 years, and you understand the terminology and you know really how it works, then what I say is like, and forgive me for saying, just talking like it's normal stuff, because it's not. It's not what 99.9% of people on earth are experiencing, but it's more prominent now than it's ever been, and it's going to continue to get more prominent. So, anyway, I try to live my life normal. Okay, so I go out and I do whatever I want to, and these videos, one day I'll probably get $100 million lawsuit just for having to do these videos, for having to come out and talk about these things that are so embarrassing to talk about, and just to do that and put myself out there. It has a great effect on my life, my personal life, and everything else. it has had a great effect. All right, I got people I don't know emailing me and messaging me nonstop all day, every day. And historically, over the last, 6 years that I've been public, at least 6 years, I'm trying to answer people and talk to people, but it's getting and more difficult because obviously there's a lot of people messaging me, and somebody messaged me earlier and they had put out a video, and I'm about to watch it in a minute. I'll be honest. So I'm about to watch it because it caught my attention more than a lot of the usual stuff. And this guy was talking about how computer programming, or no, how learning to hack. That's what he's talking about. He said learning to hack ethically is something that will be beneficial to targeted individuals. And just based off the title, I agree with them wholeheartedly. And I'm gonna go watch this video, and he might be somebody to pay attention to. Maybe I'll give him a shout on my channel or something like that. So, excuse me. Stuff like that, gets my attention a little more. But nowadays, like, you gotta understand, I'm working. I work more than 40 hours a week. Usually a lot more, but definitely more every week. And I'm doing this whole school thing in college for computer programming, and I'm traveling, and I've had to change up my schedules to complete online classes now. So I'm doing 2 classes online this semester. It's web development and database management. And last semester I took program design and some electives, an elective, and it was music appreciation. Before that, I took computer concepts, computer literacy, English 1101, which was composition and rhetoric. Anyway, I'm kind of into the whole thing with the going to school now, and I think it's not a problem for sure. I can tell you this based on my life experiences, okay? When I started going to school, it started to make my mind have to do that type of process again. I had to work and learn and have a system and study and these type of things. All of those caused me to start to get smarter. And maybe you think it sounds crazy, but I understand now better than I did before that when you're off of all of that kind of stuff and you're just living your life and you know your job and you know your life, and it's not that much that you have to take on physically for your brain, okay? And physically for my brain, it made a difference. So all of those things that I was having to take on, I could tell that it started to make me smarter in every way. Just because exercise your body, right? Exercise your mind is the same thing. And now I know that to be a fact because I've lived through that experience. And I know that I feel like I'm getting smarter in way more other aspects in life. And it has to do with everything that I do to exercise my mind. And it's not just including going to school or college. That's also the other things that I do. I'm learning a lot at work and dance. I spin poi and I like to listen to music, and all of that stuff is important. So anyway, it's a good pathway. Definitely look into all of that. Computer programming is a big deal when you're talking about gang stalking and neural monitoring, understanding code and programming and networks and all of that stuff is going to be very essential. So you're going to want to definitely do that, get into that. Lately I've been traveling, and I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to continue to travel, and I get a lot of different things going on in my mind, and I'm trying to work it all out. So I've switched my school to online, and I still live my life as a normal person. I go to the places that I go, and it's the same type of places that I might go if I was at home in Atlanta. And I'm in Ohio, and so now, and then I'll be plenty of other places moving forward, and that's how it's going to be. And I'm embracing that because it's time for me to move about and do my thing. So anyway, that's pretty well my update for tonight. I had some things I wanted to talk about earlier. If I think of them, I might come back on. Just look, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was born there, and I've lived there my whole life. And so I'm never going to talk bad about Atlanta, and that's always home, and I'll always be back there. Okay, but I went to like a mall today, and it was so much different here in Ohio. It was so crazy, man. I've been working a lot, so I haven't had a chance to go to things like that. But I was driving through the city, and then I went to a mall, and man, they just had so much nice stuff, and like it's so different, you know. And I'm so looking forward to experiencing all these different places that I'm gonna be going, and there's a lot of places on the list. That's it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following my YouTube channel. I'm gonna continue to do this, and it's very embarrassing. It's the real deal. I promise. It is really, really what's happening. There really is artificial telepathy, mind control, and hologram broadcasts, and all of this stuff with neural monitoring and gang stalking. So, you know, the street theater and all that. I don't let this stuff bother me. Like, I'm so veteran about it. You know, it's like I've been doing this for so long. So I had a lot more street theater and all of the crazy stuff going on in, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Even last year, you know, there's been times. There's always times, but they take advantage of your situation, knowing what you're thinking, knowing what you're going through, knowing what you're dealing with, and knowing where your mind's at and everything. But they take advantage of all of that. But ultimately, live your life and continue to make yourself better and get all the money you can get. Put yourself in a better position and learn the most. If you don't learn the most, then you're not going to beat them, okay? You're not going to beat them. If they can get into your phone and you can't do nothing about it, the police ain't going to do nothing about it. Obviously, I've proven that. So if they're not going to, nobody's going to do anything about it, and you can't do anything about it, you're still losing, right? But one day, if you learn enough, you'll come to the point where not only can they not gang stalk you, but they're in a hell of a situation where you're able to decipher what's really going on, and people that are on neural monitoring, and you know too much, okay? You want to know too much. So that's where I'm headed. And that's it. So thank you guys for watching. I don't know what else to say, man. Thank you all for the support over the years. And thank you for everything. And hit me up, and I'll try to get back to as many of you as I can. I'm from Atlanta, traveling around in Ohio right now for a minute. And that's it. So